Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another update, my friends. I hope everyone is having a fantastic evening. Happy Friday. Obviously it's good to be back towards the end of the work week and into the weekend. But it's going to be a pretty busy weekend. Overall, we are expecting this tropical system to be making landfall out there somewhere in Florida. Along the western coast here for Sunday. Sunday is going to be the day of impact, so we're going to definitely need to be weather aware on those days. But what's up, everybody? Let's see who we got here for today. We got Braven, we have Jalen, we have Pilot. Let's see here. We have Kim, we have Rebecca, we got Tiggy, we have Glitter, Ponderosa, Tori. What's up, Tori? Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for being a member for 3 months on the Tropical Storm team. Appreciate it. Let's see here. We got Christy. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. So here's the storm currently. See, here's the problem, and this is what got me a little bit concerned. It looks like the central circulation of that storm is actually south of Cuba. You guys see how the center of that circulation seems to be kind of south? That could be an issue with the storm regarding, you know, it being the core being over warmer water for a longer period of time. And it honestly, it already looks a lot better. I mean, you can already see that it has a very obvious rotation to it. You know, the whole core is covered in cloud cover at this point in time. That's really showing more organization with the storm. Now, we actually just got a new update from the Hurricane Center. We'll look at that here in a second, but they put it at a 90% chance of formation in the next 2 days, in the next 48 hours. So we are likely getting ready to get a depression here pretty soon. Honestly, it's looking more and more like it. Hurricane hunters this afternoon, I think it was a convective band that they ran into. Here, let me pull this up for you guys. I want to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So basically, overall, the Hurricane Hunter mission that happened earlier, it seemed like they recorded winds up to like 70, 75 miles an hour. Now, you might be saying, well, that's hurricane strength. Well, here's the thing. I think that was inside of a convective band. So basically just a normal thunderstorm. Let me go ahead and show you guys that real quickly. I posted this on Twitter. You can see right there, this was their earlier, reports. And you can see there that the surface winds, which is indicated in the blue color, we had a surface wind reading right around 65 knots, which obviously a knot is lower than a mile an hour. So with that being said, we recorded, up there right around 70 mile an hour. But like I said, that's you know, probably from a thunderstorm inside of the system itself. That's not, you know, from the direct circulation. So, anyways, regardless, definitely pretty windy. It's starting to really pick up in strength. It's looking a lot better. It really is. It's looking a whole lot better. Pilots, category 3 for 18 months. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Saying hello, Andrew. I have been working a lot in the past month. You're good. School starts back up next week. Not ready for that. Oh, yeah. See, I hope your day is going good. You as well. Everyone in chat, stay safe with these storms. I appreciate it. Well, big shout out goes to you, pilots, as well as Tori. Thank you guys for your support. It means a lot to me. Really helps out a lot, so I appreciate that. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and hop on into models and everything like that. Actually, first of all, let's take a look at the Hurricane Center. We'll look over the graphics and stuff, and then we'll dive into models and everything like that. So we'll get to that here in a second. Anyways, I'm actually going to bring the Hurricane Center over here. For some reason, it's struggling to load here. Let me try to redo this again. Oh, it seems like Hurricane Center is having a bit of a tough time loading for me. Maybe they're having like an over... I think there might be so many... Oh, here we go. I think there might have been so many people trying to access the page, or either my computer's just being dumb. It was being dumb before I went live, but what's up, Theodore? Hope you're doing good. Anyways, so yeah, here's the latest Hurricane Center. They put a overall 90% chance on it developing in the next, to a tropical depression in the next 48 hours. Right now, the storm is sustained right around 30-mile-an-hour winds. Obviously, we're gusting a little heavier, probably 35, 40 miles an hour, probably gusting. Central low is 1,010 millibars, so it's still a pretty weak low overall, but it's getting there, and we're actually moving relatively west-northwest at around 16 miles an hour, so it's moving at a decent pace. It's not super slow right now. It does look like that it will slow down, though, a little bit, once we get into the Gulf here. That does seem to be like a possibility. So I would expect it to, start to lose some of its track once it starts pulling up to the north here soon. But yeah, so that's the latest information on that. Here's the cone from the Hurricane Center. So obviously we got ourselves some warnings and some watches out. There's no hurricane warnings or watches. These are all tropical storm related. So tropical storm warnings in effect for areas kind of like southwestern Florida out there, I believe, including like Sarasota, if I'm not mistaken. I think a little bit more to the south maybe. But we got ourselves tropical storm watches in effect from basically the eastern Big Bend of Florida going towards Tampa. You guys are under tropical storm watches where tropical storm conditions is possible. Same thing for the Keys. We do have ourselves some tropical storm watches in the yellow here. And like I said, the blue is the tropical storm warnings. Now, I'm actually in a tropical storm watch here. I'm out here in Lakeland. This is right around where I'm at here. And we actually got tropical storm watches. We'll go ahead and bring those up real quickly. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the... we're going to turn off the day one outlook here. And we're going to turn on those warnings there. We'll turn on the warnings and watches here. Tropical storm warning, and let's see, tropical storm watch. That's what we're needing right now. Okay, so yeah, Polk County, this is my county. We have a tropical storm watch here. Overall, the warnings are south of Sarasota for Cape Coral, out there by Marco Island, all the way down to the Everglades. So yeah, these are tropical storm warnings where tropical storm conditions is expected. And across the, the areas out here in the pinkish kind of color, that's where we have tropical storm watch, including the, the Keys, the far west Keys, as well as the dry Tortugas included in that as well. So anyways, right now, like I said, the storm's actually expected to turn into a depression here pretty much by tomorrow morning. It's already getting pretty close. I think we're already... getting to that point in time where it's, honestly, I think it's a depression now, to be honest with you. Anyways, so yeah, maximum winds here by tomorrow morning, sustained at 30. Right now we're at 30, so not much of a change in winds, but yeah, sustained at 30, gusts up to 40 here by tomorrow morning. As we approach our way to the afternoon, early afternoon for tomorrow, we're going to get a little bit of a bump up in strength, 35 sustained, almost tropical storm status, with gusts up to 45. Now, when we get to tomorrow, actually, I should say for the morning of the 4th, early Sunday morning, this thing will transition into a tropical storm with sustained winds here of 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 50. So I'll be there for right around 2 a.m. for Sunday. And of course, we'll continue to work our way towards Tampa and some of those areas out to the west here, where we're going to see potentially rapid intensification. There's little to no wind shear that's going to, prohibit the storm from continually progressing. Not to mention, we have the hottest waters out here. We're talking like 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very warm waters out here. That is going to possibly play a big role in terms of rapid intensification. So the storm could, go from nothing crazy to something quick in a matter of a short period of time. That's something that I'm mostly concerned about. And honestly, when we have these episodes of rapid intensification, sometimes we don't know how intense they're going to get. And that's kind of what I think is going to be a problem with this guy. Like I said, it's not moving super fast. I mean, it looks like it's picked up a little bit more speed since the beginning when we were monitoring this earlier a couple days ago. But it's, right now it's moving decently fast at 14 miles an hour, but I think it's going to slow down a little bit as we get towards western Florida. And that's going to lead to a lot of rainfall out here for Florida. That's going to be one of the main problems for us out there overall. So we'll have to really watch out there for that. Anyway, so yeah, as it passes near Tampa here, basically for the afternoon of Sunday. Sunday is going to be the big day for Florida, as well as Monday as well. But anyways, yeah, we're here for Sunday for the afternoon here. We're going to see the storm sustained around 50, gusting up to right around like 65 or so overall. And then, that's going to be out there towards Tampa. We got storm surge watches in effect. We'll get to those here in a minute. But anyways, that's that. And now it looks like it's possible somewhere in the Big Bend of Florida. That's kind of where we are seeing the most probable area of landfall. That's kind of where we're expecting the core of the storm, the center of the storm to touch land will be somewhere over here in the Big Bend of Florida. Seems possible. Or it could go near Tampa. We're still in the cone of uncertainty out here by Tampa. It's certainly a possibility still. It cannot be ruled out. But that is, what we're looking out there for. Now, as we approach our way out there, look at this. Here for the morning of Monday morning, 2 a.m. This thing could even be near, not quite, but getting closer to hurricane strength. We're about 10 mile an hour short at this point in time. So for the morning of Monday, sustained of 65, which to be classified as a hurricane has to be 75 plus. 65, with gusts up to hurricane strength, up to 75 possible overall. Now, it's not all. That's not all, unfortunately, my friends. Now, as we continue working our way further down in time, this thing could cause a little bit of issues for areas near Jacksonville, Florida. And not just Florida, starting to impact areas towards, near Georgia and even the Carolinas. Look at that. We actually have ourselves tropical storm conditions, potentially still possible there for the Carolina coasts. That's something we'll need to watch out for. I can't rule hurricane conditions out either. Some models really pick up on that, such as the GFS. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I think that's going to be a big issue. Honestly, I feel like the strongest that the storm's going to get is going to be over in these regions here. Now, it really comes down to two scenarios. Obviously, if the storm center goes over the water and it picks back up that, that warmth from the water there, that would allow it to strengthen. However, if it does go to the north and say it stays inland, that would mean little to hardly any issues for the Carolina coast. So obviously, that's what we're still trying to work out. The cone's very big, as you can see, stretching several hundred miles across. So, the core, there's still a lot of error margin here we need to work with. But anyways, yeah, let's just focus on Florida now. But obviously, I want you guys to be ready as well. Make sure you guys are, starting to get things prepared. If you're out there by the coast, wouldn't hurt. So Georgia's coast and the Carolina coast wouldn't hurt to be prepared to start getting things ready. Make sure you have enough food and water and all that stuff. And of course, Florida, since we have those watches in place, I want you guys to obviously be preparing now as the storm is getting closer to Florida. Right now it's over Cuba, but it's going to get a little closer to Florida here soon, especially for tomorrow. It's going to get pretty close. And of course, we're going to start to really feel those effects in Florida here, basically late tomorrow night, but really kind of kicking up in the morning of Sunday. That's whenever the heaviest impacts are going to be felt there overall. Anyways, all right, so let's go and hop over here to the Hurricane Center. So once again, yeah, so that's all what's going on there. Here's your rainfall map. A good amount of rain is expected. That's one of Florida's main concerns. Out there by Tampa Bay, we could expect around 6 to 8 inches of rainfall. Where I'm at here in Polk County, we're seeing around 4 to 6, which is still a really good amount of rainfall overall. Orlando, not too much, well, a little bit. 2 to 4 inches is possibility. Let's see here. Ignore that. Let's see, will Polk County get some strong winds? We could gust up to 40. I think it's possible. We could get up to 40-mile-an-hour winds. A lot of it's going to be towards Tampa, I think. But yeah, Polk County could definitely experience some gusty winds for sure, which, I'll be recording it. We have a weather station I built down here in Polk County, so I'll be able to get some data with it. Anyways, let's see. Tom says, I'm in South Carolina and I'm in the cone. Yeah, well, keep an eye on it, my friend. Keep an eye on it. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. But yeah, back over to the rainfall overall. The coastal Carolinas, we have areas near like Wilmington, maybe like Savannah, Georgia, Charleston. We're talking 6 to 8 inches of rain possibly out in some of those regions there overall. The yellow areas, like we mentioned, 4 to 6. The dark green, 2 to 4. And the light green, there's 1 to 2. So, obviously the Carolina coast could definitely pick up on a good amount of rainfall as well. It's not just Florida to the party. It's also the Carolinas and Georgia too. So that's something that we need to, pay attention to as well. Anyways, surges have increased. I want to go ahead and mention that since this morning when we did an update with you guys, the storm surge has actually increased to 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4 foot out there, all the way from Bonita Beach all the way up to Sawney River. So that's a pretty good margin there. We could see some surges, including the Tampa Bay, of 2 to 4 foot of storm surge. Out there towards the south side, towards the Everglades, we are seeing about 1 to 3 foot of storm surge down there. That's actually where those tropical storm warnings are at. So that's just a little bit of a heads up. So yeah, the heaviest is going to be felt pretty much near Charlotte Harbor, all the way up to the Shawnee River. So pretty much that is what we're dealing with the surges. Now we do have storm surge watches in effect, which we'll go ahead and show you guys those. So all these areas here that's in that kind of pinkish color, these are all storm surge watches. We have no warnings yet for storm surge, but those will eventually be upgraded more than likely overall. James, thank you so much for being a Category 1 supporter for 2 months. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Saying good evening, everyone in chat. You too, James. Let's see, the Pinellas and Tampa are different. Where's that at? Honestly, not entirely too sure where. I've heard of that, but I mean, obviously I know where Tampa's at, of course. But anyways, but yeah, so, like I said, that's what we're seeing there. Storm surge watches in effect. So that's something, we'll need to watch out for the coastline. Obviously, for the folks inland, we're not expecting anything surge related, because obviously we're inland. We don't have to deal with all that. However, water is not going to completely not be an issue. Like I said, rain, once again, it's a big problem. Even if the system doesn't bring heavy winds or anything like that, a lot of Florida is going to be in some serious problems, with rainfall. That's a bit of an issue overall. DJW says, I'm in Tallahassee. Love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Pinellas is a county. Oh, that's right. Isn't that near? Hold on. I used to have a county map on here. Let's see here. Yeah, I remember now that you say that. Yeah, it's a county out west. See here. Also, DJW, obviously keep an eye out there for it. Tallahassee could see about 2 to 4 inches of rain overall, so we'll keep that up and running. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up a county map. Open new one. Here we go. This is a... let's see here. Oh, yeah, so that's actually out there. That's just west of me. I think that includes like St. Pete, if I'm not mistaken. It seems like that. Yeah, Polk County, that's where I'm at. Obviously, we've got Osceola and Orange. That's Orange's Orlando. Anyways, yeah, that makes sense. Let's see here. Remember, chat, we got to share this information with many people as possible. Share the live stream. Yeah, thank you, Taylor, or James Taylor. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Does it have the potential of hitting New York City? Definitely not right now. Honestly, it's very unlikely that it'll come even near New York. So definitely nothing really indicating that right now. Obviously, the cone gets very big once we approach the Carolinas, yet alone what it's going to do once it gets over here, if it does. Like I said, yeah, too early to tell. And honestly, it's very, very, very unlikely that New York will get this storm here, honestly. It really depends on what it does. Like I said, if it goes back out to sea, which is possible, it could pick up some strength, or if it just continues to be inland, it's just going to die out. That's all it's going to do. So obviously it's, still up for grabs. It's hard to tell what's going to happen at this point in time. Obviously, we're becoming more clear of what we can expect for Florida. Landfall is going to be somewhere in the Big Bend, more than likely, or near Tampa. It could be near between Tampa and just slightly east of Apalachicola. So we'll see. Let's see here. You're welcome. No problem, DJ. No problem at all. See, I'm in Pinellas County, camping next to Skyway. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, you're out there near Tampa, so yeah, that's where you're going to feel some of the heavier effects. Yeah, Tampa Bay, like I said, we could get some impacts, tropical storm related. Obviously, we have those storm surge watches, 2 to 4 foot of storm surge possible in Tampa Bay. Yeah, certainly something we need to watch out for. And we're expected to have some gusts near 65 out there towards Tampa, so it could get a little breezy, per se. Just a light breeze. Anyways, let's see. I'm concerned. It still does. Well, Tash, that's very far down in time, and there's absolutely no reason to even be concerned for New York right now because, the storm's all the way down here, and New York is way over here. There's a lot that can happen by the time it gets there. I mean, we're not even 5 days by the time it gets to even near New York. So don't let it worry you. It's way too far out. No reason to worry about it. And honestly, like I said, it's very, very unlikely this thing will even come near New York. More than likely, the jet stream will take it further away. Let's see here. But anyways, yeah, so no reason to be worried out there, of course. Like I said, Florida, the main problem here, guys, obviously, for coast, some flooding, obviously there's a storm surge, 2 to 4 foot across a lot of the coast here. Like I said, that's kind of the main problem. Obviously, rain is the biggest issue for Florida. A lot of rain is going to be associated with the storm, even if you're not, directly experiencing the heavy winds or whatever. The main problem is going to be water, of course. That's the main issue with tropical cyclones. Also, like I said, obviously, yeah, I want you guys to be preparing for this. Just keep an eye on it. Prepare for flooding. That's the main thing. And then out the towards the Carolinas, I want you guys to be, just weather aware. I want you guys to be prepared. But overall, Chris says not a major storm. No, it's not. It's a tropical storm, but even tropical storms do have some pretty big impacts. Obviously, it's not like a Cat 5 or anything like that. No, it's far from it. I still think that there's a possibility that we could have maybe even a low-end hurricane by the time we make landfall in Florida. It can't be ruled out, honestly, due to the conditions that it's going to be heading into, limited to no wind shear at all, as well as very hot sea surface temperatures. That's going to allow for, possible rapid intensification, as it approaches just off of Tampa. It's possible, it's certainly possible. Once it goes through the Florida Straits and goes up there towards, southwest Florida, as well as western Florida, just in general, just off the coast, it's going to have a good shot at maybe picking up a decent amount of intensification. So that's kind of what we're looking out there for. Let's see here. But yeah, anyways, so that's that. Ignore the wind noises. Let's see here. But yeah, so once again, yeah, for the people, whoever said that about New York, yeah, don't even be concerned about it right now. It's not even an issue for you. It's very far away from you. Let's see. Plus high tide pushing water into the bay. That's very true. Yeah, tidal forces definitely does have a bit of a problem. As well, especially whenever you have peak surge and, high tide that brings more water inland, which is a big issue. The main problem with Florida is the fact we live on top of a sinkhole. To see northwest Cape Coral here. Gotcha. Yeah, Cape Coral, obviously, keep an eye out for it. You're actually under a tropical storm warning. Obviously, you want to be weather aware. The good news is that it's going to be a lower end tropical storm as it approaches near you. We're not expecting direct landfall for you, per se. The core is going to be to your west. So the main thing you got to watch out there for, obviously, towards the coast there is just, a little bit of small surges, 1 to 2 foot, I think it was, for you guys. That's where it goes 2 to 4 above you all. But yeah, the main thing, obviously, still water, overall. What's up, Scott? Let's see. Chrissy says, I think the problem is that so many Floridians have seen storms like this, and it barely touches what an afternoon shower does. Yeah, that's true. But, the storm, like I mentioned before, it's not going to be moving super fast, and that's going to allow for, the storm to, accumulate a good amount of water. I mean, most of Florida is in the yellow here, as you guys can see, and that's at least 4 to 6 inches of rain. That's a really good amount of rainfall overall. Tampa Bay, really just the west central and portions, the Big Bend of western portions of Florida could be seeing, 6 to 8 inches, which that's definitely a lot of rain. And of course, that could carry on to the Carolina coast, but once again, it's a little early for all that. All right, let's go and hop into models. We got some information to show you guys here. First of all, we're going to take a look at the spaghetti plots. I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys over here to those. We'll take a look at the spaghetti plots. So here's the latest and greatest. We actually are a little bit less in terms of agreement as we were this morning. Models started to detour from one another again. But yeah, landfall more than likely is going to be between Tampa and the eastern Big Bend of Florida. That's where more than likely the thing's going to be making landfall at. Possibly as maybe a mid-upper level tropical storm overall as of now. So that's the latest on the spaghetti model track. Now here's the spaghetti model intensity guidance. Obviously right around the 48-hour mark. That's where it's going to be whenever we make that landfall roughly. So it's going to peak probably, like I said, maybe upper level tropical storm more than likely is probably where it's going to be. It seems like a lot of the main hurricane models actually pick up on that, occurring. So that's what we need to look out there for. Some more ensemble data, once again, showing the Big Bend of Florida, more than likely getting the brunt forces here, maybe like the direct landfall. Some more ensembles there showing the same thing. So that's the latest with that. Now we're going to hop over to the individual models. We're going to take a look at those here. Let's go ahead and line this up for you guys. Go ahead and load that up for y'all. So first of all, we're going to take a look here at the GFS model. This is the American GFS. So the latest run, the 18 Zulu. Wow. Okay, that's actually some new development. Actually, we're going to go to the southeast here. That actually has pulled up a lot more to the north. And the reason it probably did is because that central circulation is now south of Cuba. Matter of fact, it actually went a little more south than we thought. So that's going to probably push it a little bit more to the west here, in which it looks like the Big Bend of Florida is really, seems to be where the thing's going to be making landfall at. That's a bit of an issue. The more north it goes, the more time it's going to be in the water, and maybe a little bit more stronger it could get. Now, overall, we are expecting, according to GFS here, this thing to, be right around tropical storm force, of course, nothing super crazy. But then it could become a really big issue as it approaches back into the waters here, just off the coast of the Carolinas, as it could be, a decent hurricane at that point in time. So we'll have to keep an eye out there for that. Let's hop over to Euro. This is 12 Zulu. European model has this thing, honestly in pretty good agreement, also kind of showing it in the same area near the Big Bend. Then, of course, going out into the waters and then picking up some intensity. Wow, that is very interesting. What is it? Okay. Euro has a very interesting take, I must say. Has it going back in the water here, only this time off the Atlantic coast. Then it just kind of barrels to the north and then just gets sucked in towards South Carolina, which that was not on my playing cards. I'm not going to lie with you. Interesting take. Probably going to be ruled out, I would guarantee, in that next run. CMC, look at that. Big Bend of Florida seems to be the impact area. Now, here's the good news, is that, the main circulation, the main low, the main storm is going to remain mostly over land, keeping this thing fairly weak, but still a good rainmaker eventually rolling off. I think that's a good possibility, honestly. Icon, of course, Icon kind of agrees with GFS in a way. It really seems like the common denominator here, guys, is all of these main models are looking like the thing is going to be making landfall in the Big Bend of Florida. That seems more likely. And of course, maybe picking up some strength as it approaches into the Carolinas, just off the coast, some of those regions. Actually, I used to go to the beach here, Hilton Head Island, which is far South Carolina, and it looks like you guys could get hit pretty good, unfortunately, according to some of these models here. So, yeah, definitely want you guys along the Carolina coast as well as Georgia's coast to be really watching out for this closely, because, this ultimately could eventually become more of an issue for you guys rather than Florida. So that's kind of what I'm worried about. That's kind of the latest, information with all that. That really does seem to be what I'm mostly concerned about overall. Does that mean that east side of the storm and the Outer Banks would hit our coast? We're at Christie. Let's see. So for the Carolinas, obviously, as you know, the eastern side of the storm, that's the most strongest part of the storm. Now, obviously, for Florida, that's going to allow for maybe some tornadic activity to occur out there towards the peninsula because we're on the right hand side. Some cyclone-induced tornadoes can't be ruled out. Obviously, depending on what it does, there's going to be still some heavy impacts regardless of what side you're on. Out there towards the Carolinas. So that's kind of what we're looking out there for. Let's see. Last night GFS was on something. It showed stalling over Cologne. Yeah, GFS has been all over the place, honestly. But anyways, yeah. So that's that. Looks similar path to Adalia. Not really. I mean, maybe a little, but yeah, it's a little different, of course. But anyways, so yeah, that's just the models. That's what we got going on there. Here's the latest, like I said, imagery of the storm here. And like I was mentioning, if we hop over here to, we'll just do a water vapor view. And we'll play this a little faster in motion here. So that's the thing. We're going to add a few more frames here. Let's do 50 frames. We're going to add a few more plates here. Okay, so you can see that circulation seems to be, let's actually full screen this so you guys can see it a little better. So it really kind of seems like that central circulation you guys can see is somewhere in here. It's obviously south of Cuba, and that's going to be a little bit more concerning, I think, which is going to allow for the storm to, possibly pick up some more heat as it approaches, the Florida Straits and obviously out there towards like the western coast of Florida. We'll see how it handles. Now, obviously, Cuba has a lot of mountain ranges in its geography, which is not really good for tropical cyclones. The biggest of those mountain ranges is already passed, which eastern Cuba has some pretty good mountain ranges. There's still a pretty good amount in central Cuba. But yeah, once it pulls to the north out there, it should be in a short period of time to be able to strengthen pretty quickly. So that's what we need to really be watching out there for. But anyways, so that's that, you guys. That's kind of where we're standing here with the storm. That's the latest. We had some Hurricane Hunter aircraft. They've been investigating the storm. As you can see, they've been doing some interesting patterns, gathering a lot of data on this. And, overall, that is that. So that's kind of what we're seeing. Obviously, this thing is, they've been doing some interesting patterns here. They're just trying to gather as much information as possible. And what they're going to do is they're going to plug in that data they collected. They're going to put those in that supercomputer, and they're going to run that model data. And we're going to get some more information on the storm. So them flying into these storms, man, is very important. And, definitely helps save lives overall. Christy coming with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Christy. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. Saying, Andrew, the fact you understood my talk to text, I'm driving, and actually could answer the question. Yeah. Well, you know what? I kind of knew what you were saying there. But I'm glad to help. I'm glad I got your answer. Or I'm glad I actually understood, I should say. But thank you, Christy. I really appreciate that, my friend. That's very, very generous of you. Very, very sweet. I appreciate it. It definitely goes a long way with helping me out and everything like that. So big shout out goes to you, Christy. Thank you for your support. Very, very sweet of you. But anyways, guys, well, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like I said, that's kind of the latest update for you guys. There's really not much more to go over. We pretty much talked every ground, what it's doing, what it's happening, the missions they've already done. We've talked about the models, the latest guidance, rainfall, storm surge, warnings, watches. We went over everything. So if y'all have any final questions before I roll off here, feel free to let me know. Once again, just getting that word out there. We just need to get it out once. And like I said, if y'all have any, if y'all want to rewatch it, just rewind the live stream, go back to the beginning, and you guys could see all the stuff we talked about again. But tomorrow morning, we're going to do another update, of course. We'll be live a lot. We're coming up on a lot of live streams here. Even during the event, Sunday, I have a storm chaser. He's going to be chasing out here near where I'm at. So we're going to have some live storm views. We're going to have some live weather data because I have my weather station, primed and ready to go for the storm. I have a Mesonet, which is a scientific weather station. It's not like your Amazon ones you buy. This is like officially like industrial equipment and stuff. So that's going to be very handy, and that's going to give us some really good information overall. Let's see. Don't forget to like and subscribe so other people can get the stream again. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Tabletop. It's going to be sometime early next week. Still need to watch and see what it does, where it goes. Let's see here. But yeah, so that's that. See, safety supplies. There was still water tonight. Let's see, there's not any lines, but I saw, make sure you get your supplies tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, it's good to be, the earlier the better. You know, the earlier the better. And, you know, like I said, some people are going to be like, oh, it's just a tropical storm. Like I said, you know, tropical storms can have problems too, you know, especially one like this. Could be bringing a lot of water to the peninsula. And we could have, that's what the main problem is, I think. I think the main issue here is going to be just a lot of rain. A lot of rain. You know, that's going to be the main issue. Let's see here. What can I expect tomorrow? Let's see. What can I expect tomorrow morning going to work? Cape Coral. So tomorrow morning, as we approach, you know, tomorrow morning, the storm's gonna be here. Let me go and bring it back. The storm's gonna be right around in here. Obviously, Cape Coral, you're up here. You should be good. By 2 p.m. tomorrow, the storm's gonna be near the Keys, the core. We could start to feel those outer bands here, you know, tomorrow. Of course, that's when we're gonna really start to feel the storm's outer bands. But yeah, should be good. Let's see here. But anyways, yeah, so keep an eye on it. Your main impacts are going to be there for like the morning of Sunday, early Sunday morning. So you'll have to keep a close eye on that for those days. Okay. All right, y'all. Any final questions? Let's see here. Fort Myers. Where's Fort Myers at? You know, me remembering all these places, I always forget them. It's like I remember them a couple, you know, for some days, and then some days I forget them. But let me look at Fort Myers here. Let's see here, Fort Myers, Florida. We're gonna pull this up here. Oh yeah, Fort Myers is right on the right near Cape Coral. I knew that. Yeah, so that's same thing. You know, like we mentioned, Fort Myers, pretty much same thing as what I mentioned just a minute ago. How much rain are we going to get in Polk County? We are expecting a good amount. Yeah, Polk County, we're expecting around 4 to 6 inches. Pretty solid amount. As you may or may not know, I'm actually in Polk County myself, so pretty good amount. I'm out here in Lakeland, which is kind of west central Florida, somewhere in this area here. Obviously, I can't see county maps, but it'll make it easier. But yeah, Polk County is like right in here, so... let's see. What about Eustis, Florida? Let's go and take a look at Eustis and see what we got going on here. Okay, so yeah, Eustis is actually in the cone, as you can see. You guys have tropical storm watches. They actually extended those a little bit to the east here, as you guys can tell. Orlando does not have a tropical storm watch, by the way. Those kind of end at, you know, Polk County and so a couple counties to the north. It's just kind of as far east as it goes. But yeah, so you definitely keep an eye on it. The good news is that you're far enough inland, obviously, where we're not going to have any storm surge issues or anything like that. And rain should be relatively the same, you know, right around 4 to 6 inches overall. So, let's see here. Kari, thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. Saying thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for your support. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What about Ocala? I know where Ocala is at, actually. Yeah, Ocala's up here. So... Ocala, obviously, yeah, we're far enough inland. We could have some gusty wind still. There's no watches in effect for you guys. And of course, rainfall, you know, still about the same, 4 to 6 inches for you guys. Shawnee. Gotcha. Okay, I'll try to remember here. Is the storm going to be hitting Jacksonville? It'll be fairly weak by the time it gets near Jacksonville. But yes, Jacksonville will be feeling some effects from this storm, of course. You know, we could be seeing 4 to 6 inches. Yeah, a lot of the peninsula right now is in the forecast of 4 to 6. Orlando 2 to 4. Tampa Bay about 6 to 8. Pretty good amount overall. Let's see. First tropical system in about a month because of sarin dust. Yeah, the dust has dried things up quite a bit. Anyways, Any more rain in Tennessee? Well, out of this guy, no. This is not gonna have any rain really for Tennessee because it's gonna stay to the east for the most part. So, yeah, this isn't gonna bring any impacts for you guys. But all right, guys. Well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Just a little bit of an update for you all. If y'all want to go back, and like I said, we literally went over everything here. So if you guys want to go back and rewatch it, just go ahead and do that. If you guys do enjoy this update, please consider leaving a like and hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. Once again, I appreciate all of your support today. Kari, thank you so much. Christy, obviously all the people who are renewing those memberships, I appreciate it. Such as Tori, obviously, Pilot, and James, thank you guys. Seriously, I deeply appreciate your support, guys. Once again, thank you. But alrighty, everybody. Once again, thanks for joining. We'll catch y'all later tomorrow morning. We're going to do an update for you guys tomorrow morning on the system. We'll get some new information. We'll have a whole night worth of data coming through. So we'll see. What's my forecast on how many storms Florida will hit? Obviously, there's really no way of knowing. Nobody can just be like, oh yeah, we're going to get this amount. There's no way of knowing. Mother Nature just does her own thing. And if there's a storm that gets near Florida, we'll talk about it. I don't really like looking at things like that way. Saying how many storms. Now, I do think it's going to be an active season, which could ultimately lead to more storms near Florida. But, the exact number is unknown. I mean, just like people trying to predict how many tornadoes we're going to see in a year. Exactly. How many per state. I think that's a little ridiculous. But, yeah, anyways. Same thing with hurricanes. It's just random. It really is just random. I'm not sure at tabletop. We'll have to see whenever things. But yeah, just keep on notifications. Make sure those are on. That way you guys get alerted whenever we do go live. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Once again, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be much appreciated. And if you guys could leave a like, be greatly appreciated as well. And most importantly, if you guys could share this, that would be much appreciated. Put it to your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever, just to help get that word out there. It's most important here. But alrighty, guys. We'll catch y'all in the next one. See you later. See you guys tomorrow.